Hello everyone, it's your girl Luna here. Hello. My cat is looking at me like I'm a fucking idiot, which is facts. Okay guys, warning. There will be a Genshin Impact video probably next week. Probably. Because your girl wants to do some wishes. So, that will probably happen next week. But anyway, this week's video, I'm doing another tier list. Why? Because nostalgia. I've been very nostalgic recently, especially with Monster High getting their Gen 3. Little pet shops probably getting a revamp next year. Just like, I'm feeling very nostalgic. I am feeling very nostalgic. And I looked back on some of the first animes that I've ever watched as well and rewatched them. I'm very nostalgic at the moment. So I thought, why not do a tier list on British children TV shows? More importantly, the TV shows I watched as a kid. So these are like 2000s, 2010s, early 2010 shows. And most of them are iconic. So, we're gonna go through all of them. And yeah. We're going to go through all of them. I'm going to talk about them, and yeah. So, for you guys who don't know, I was born in the 2000s. Early 2000s. Very early 2000s. I'm not going to specify what year. But I was born early 2000s. And yeah, so I grew up on CBBC, which is the main sort of like children's show broadcaster in Britain. It's pretty good. I haven't seen the recent shows that they've done, but the OG shows that I remember are iconic. I am going to mention that CITV is also another British broadcaster who do children's shows, and I'm not sure if any of those are in here. I'm going to just have a glimpse to see if any of them are in here. We got Jungle Run. Yeah, we do have some CITV ones, so any that are missed, I will probably talk about, because there were some bangers on CITV. I think I probably watched CBBC for like proper sort of like series, like proper sort of like TV children's series, such as Young Dracula, as you can see. But for CITV, you watch that for just a bit of comedy. And if you're lucky and it's a movie day, then yeah, they'll put a movie on. But CITV was very much a sort of like comedic sort of like channel. It was a very comedic sort of channel. It had a lot of cartoons and a lot of animations, while CBBC had a lot of live actions. So that's the sort of difference you'll see, probably. But anyway, let's start. First of all, we've got Trapped. Oh, it's legendary, iconic. Mwah, 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 mwah. Okay, it's probably not legendary, iconic. It's very cool, though. Okay, so Trapped was very, very good. Because basically, you got a bunch of kids, you trap them in a tower, and basically, they have to do they have to go to these different rooms, which will have different games in, and the children have to pass each game. However, one child is picked in each room to be the sort of, not the accomplice, the traitor, the imposter as you would among us people, the imposter of that room, and they go out of their way to make sure that the group fails the game by making a lot of mistakes. It's very interesting. It can be very creepy as well, because there are some creepy-ass games in Trapped. It's a very sort of like creepy sort of like thing going on here. This is one of the shows that I blame for my love for creepy stuff. This is one of the shows that I blame, because I loved it as a child so much, and I was so sad when it finished. Luckily, you can watch the full series on YouTube. I checked. You can. You can watch it all on YouTube if you guys are interested. It's very, very good. It's very good. For at least when what I remember of it, it's very good. Young Dracula. Young Dracula is iconic. It is iconic. It's an iconic show. It's iconic. Okay, so Young Dracula has two sections? Two series? Okay, so there was Young Dracula, the first section, when the main character is a child. And there's another section when he's an adult. Young Dracula is iconic for so many reasons, but I'm not sure which section I prefer. I think I prefer the first section when he was a child because there was so many cool things with that section. The second section when he's an adult, it's sort of, I'm not gonna say tedious, but it had that feel to it. It was very sort of like story oriented. Like for like the first section when he was a child, you could just clip on to any episode unless it was like a 2-parter episode, and you'd be fine. But for the second section when he's an adult, it's very story oriented, like a proper sort of like TV show. I'm trying to think Vampire Diaries-esque, I would say. It's sort of Vampire Diaries-esque. Well, of course, Vampire Diaries was very popular when the second section of this show came out. But yeah, so I do prefer the first season, but it is an iconic It is iconic. It's not a mess. It's iconic for so many reasons, and I adored it. Bear Behaving Badly. Oh my god. You're going to see a lot of these high ranked because I'm very nostalgic. Decent enough. Bear Behaving Badly. It's basically what it says in the title. A little blue bear basically gets into some mischief. The owner's not happy most of the time with him. Of course, you got the antagonist who wants to, skin the bear, I believe. Yeah, it was a show. It was a good show. It was a decent show. You could just clip into any episode. You could, and you'd be fine watching it like that. It's a decent show. It's decent enough. I do like it. I wouldn't say it's very cool, though. Like, if there was something else on, then I'd watch that properly instead. But Bear Behaving Badly was really good. Horrible Histories. Iconic. Legendary. Iconic. Gorgeous. Horrible Histories is a classic on British TV. In my opinion, it's a classic children's British TV show. It is a classic. The books are good as well. It's amazing. It's brilliant. Oh my god. Also, the songs are a banger. You gotta give it to the songs. Even when they revamped the show, like years back, the songs were iconic. In Horrible Histories, you have to have good songs. And some of the songs are a banger, like Cleopatra, the Forger family. No, that's not the word. God damn it! I watched a whole series on this family, but I can't remember the name. It's not the Forger family. I'm thinking of Spy Family here. No, it wasn't that. It was an old family. It's an old family that was in England. Yeah, Horrible Histories, iconic. If you're somewhere that, I think Horrible Histories is only in Britain, so I'm not sure if it's in America. I think America has made its own little spin-off. I'm not 100% sure on this. Don't take what I say as factual. But for you guys who haven't seen it, watch some clips of it. There's clips on YouTube. There are songs on YouTube of it. It's iconic. It's iconic for what it is. Gory games. Now, gory games. Decent enough. There were some good games on Gory Games. Gory Games was basically the game show for Horrible Histories. This game show was basically made after the original Horrible Histories sort of like ended, and then it was there until they revamped Horrible Histories. So it was basically there as a sort of like it was an in-between between the two, I believe. It was just like a game show. It was decent. There were some good games in it. There was a game about grave robbing, which I loved. I loved the grave robbing game. My cat's looking at me like I'm stupid. The grave robbing game was very nice. As you can tell, I like quite dark stuff. And I do like the little quiz in the game show. There you go, choo choo. I accidentally stepped on my cat's tail, so he's not very happy with me. I don't know what this is. But it doesn't look like anything that is good. I'm sorry. Raven. Okay. Raven is iconic for many reasons. Raven is iconic. Raven is basically a game show, guys. It's basically a game show. But it's iconic because they actually revamped the series. I don't think the revamp did it justice. I think the revamp followed the storyline of like why you're doing this and what's going on, but I don't know. The original Raven was just so good. It was so good. It was just a really, really good show. It was really good. I believe this was like my brother's favorite show on CBBC. Because, of course, my brother's a couple years older than me, but we were like near enough an age to watch CBBC together. So, yeah. Raven is just great. The Particle Mysteries, I'm guessing. If I remember correctly what the Particle Mysteries is, I believe it's the series where yeah, the world is run by children because all the parents disappear. Because all the adults disappear. So from age something upwards, they disappear. So it was like a world run by children. It was decent enough. I wouldn't put too much praise behind it because I can't remember some stuff. And I was very iffy with it. Some episodes I liked, some episodes I didn't. I didn't always tune in to watch it. It was just there. But I do remember that I did like the ending. And I liked the beginning episodes. The middle part of the series I was iffy on. There were some good episodes, there were some bad ones, but Okay, Hotel Trouble. Hotel Trouble was comedic. I wouldn't say it was tolerable. I would say it's a bit upwards than tolerable. I'll put it decent enough. Hotel Trouble, well, it was comedic. It was a comedic show about a hotel basically doing stuff. It was comedic. They had some good actors in Hotel Trouble. They had some good actors. I'll give them that. Am I High? Okay. Am I High in later years got butchered to hell and back. Let's not lie. The later seasons of Am I High were just not good. Weren't good. The original Am I High was really good. I will say that. I wouldn't put it very cool though. I'll put it before Bear Behaving Badly, and that's it. I liked Am I High. I did. But it was let down in the later seasons, I believe. And to be honest, I can't remember much about Am I High. I can't. It was there. Oh my god, Sarah Jane Smith. For you guys who don't know Sarah Jane Smith was a children's spin-off of Doctor Who with one of the Sarah, is her name? She played Sarah. I can't remember what the actress's name, but yeah, poor her. The actress who played Sarah Jane Smith sadly passed away like a couple years back. It was very sad. She died of cancer. But Sarah Jane Smith was really, really good show. It was really, really good. It was like you watch Doctor Who. If you guys watch Doctor Who, you'll probably know. It was a spin-off of Doctor Who for CBBC. And it did really, really well. It did really well. A lot of people liked it because, of course, as British people, we really liked Doctor Who. Especially David Tennant's version. Anyways. I think that's like a conclusive thing. Sarah Jane Smith is like iconic. I believe it's very iconic for what it was. It was very iconic. I loved it. It was very nice. I liked the first episode. I think the first episode was the clown episode. I'm not sure. But the clown episode. It was really nice. I do really like Sarah Jane Smith. Oh, they used to do DVDs of Sarah Jane Smith, but I don't know where they are. You probably have to check Amazon. I don't think you can watch on YouTube because CBC is keeping that one on hold there. Wolfblood. Okay. For you guys who watch Teen Wolf, think of that, but then scrap your mind of everything else. This is basically a Teen Wolf reject. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I watched the first 3 seasons. I stopped after season 4 and 5 because it was a different protag. And yeah, I didn't mind the protag, but I didn't care enough to actually willingly watch 2 whole seasons of her. Yeah, Wolfblood is basically if you add Teen Wolf and Vampire Diaries and then make it a children's show or a teen or a younger audience show. That's basically Wolfblood. You got angsty boy, you got girl who knows a lot and who wants the angsty boy to stop being so angsty, or else he will reveal that Wolfbloods are a real thing. And they're real. You got the redhead who is from an actual Wolfblood pack and who knows angsty boy and who's very attached to him. Doesn't like the other girl. Just like, yeah, it's a whole thing. I wouldn't say it's iconic. I would say it was very cool. I wouldn't call it iconic. It was very popular in its time. My brother even liked it, which says something. It was very cool. I liked it. The next step. Okay. Who likes their sitcoms? The next step is basically a sitcom. It's there. It's basically about a dance studio with a bunch of dancers. The people who actually play characters on the show are, I believe, actual dancers. So there you go. I put myself through to watch the whole 2 seasons. I didn't watch anything afterwards. From what I remember, it was very much, yeah. It gave you sitcom. It gave you confessionals. It was just there. It was just there. I don't mind the next step. It got a bit catty at times. It reminds me of Glee. It reminds me of Glee in that sense. But with confessionals. It reminds me of Glee with confessionals. So it was just like, yeah, it was decent enough. Okay, The Slammer. I'm going to put that one up here because I don't know. The Slammer. The Slammer is iconic. The Slammer is iconic for what it is. It was basically a talent show-esque show. It was very cool. I really liked it. I don't think most people remember the Slammer, but in my mind, it's iconic for what it was. There was some great acts on there. Just brilliant acts on there. It was so good. It was so good. It was basically a talent show, and it was so good. I don't remember you. I don't even know what you are. Rocket Island. Yeah, I have no clue. I recognize some of the characters, but then I'm just like, what? I don't care. So awkward. Tolerable. Tolerable. People are gonna have a go at me saying that So Awkward is tolerable. It's tolerable, guys. Let's be honest. It's tolerable. So awkward. 3 girls going through high school, and oh, it's high school and there's hormones and it's so awkward. I don't mind it. It's tolerable. I'd watch an episode if there was nothing else available to me. I'd watch it. But I would gladly go to any other show. I don't care. I don't care. Arthur. Okay, Arthur is seen by others for being iconic. It was decent enough. It was decent. It's iconic for being like one of like the biggest ongoing like British TV shows, children's TV shows in Britain. But it was decent enough. It was decent. It was decent. You'd watch an episode every now and again. I think the only time that I watched this series was like after school. Because this was on like straight after school. And I had to watch that so I could watch Scooby-Doo. So it was basically there as just like, oh, I have to watch this before I watch Scooby-Doo. Okay. Okay, now we're getting to the biggies. Okay, Tracy Beaker. The Tracy Beaker trilogy and the Danny duology. I love these. First of all, I love the actress. I can't remember her name. It is Danny. I know it's Danny, but I can't remember her full name. She was in Strictly Come Dancing one year, which I loved. I watched that year's Strictly Come Dancing. It was great. But I love the actress. Tracy Beaker is iconic. Let's not fool ourselves. It's iconic. It is iconic. I still remember many of the characters in here. Okay. For you guys who have not read Tracy Beaker, it's a book series. Read it, it's good. Basically about a girl who's in an orphanage. It's an orphanage, right? It's basically an orphanage. I think that's the proper word. I think that is. But yeah, but basically she keeps thinking that her mum is going to come back any day to pick her up. And that her mum is just this brilliant person. And yeah, it has very sad moments, but Tracy did get adopted, and it was very cute. I loved the chemistry between the two. It was very nice. The Dumping Ground. I'm gonna add Tracy Beaker Returns to the Dumping Ground because it basically was. Let's not fool ourselves. Tracy Beaker Returns was basically the Dumping Ground, but prologue. That was basically it, guys. Let's not fool ourselves here. It basically was. The Dumping Ground is iconic. But I will say that it was very cool. Yeah. The Dumping Ground sort of like had like really good characters. I would say that. It had really good characters. Basically, Tracy Beaker goes back to return to her old orphanage to work as sort of like carer. And you got all these kids, and some of them have issues. Some of them are just fucking adorable. I like the dumping ground. It was nice. It was nice. It was really nice. Danny's House and Danny's Castle. I was obsessed with these two shows when they came out. I was obsessed. I loved these two so much that they're going iconic. If I had to choose which one's iconic and which one's very cool, Danny's House was really good, but I don't think it aged well. I don't think it aged well. I think you can watch it on Amazon Prime at the moment, or Netflix, but I don't know if Danny's House aged well. It's really, really good. It's really good. It is really good. And so is Danny's Castle. Danny's Castle was cool as well. I'm gonna put... I'm gonna put Danny's Castle lower, just because. 4 O'Clock Club. 4 O'Clock Club, it was decent enough. I'd watch it. We're gonna go through this fast, because we're almost at the CITV series. Blue Peter. Ew, change the channel. I don't like Blue Peter. It was basically boring. I hate it. Anything with Dick and Dom is immediately cool. Anything. Dick and Dom Bungalow, Dick and Dom Diddy Movies. It's great. It's great. Big Friday Wind Up, also decent enough. Scooby-Doo. Okay, out of all the Scooby-Doo series I watch, what's new Scooby-Doo isn't the best, but Scooby-Doo, so it's iconic. It's iconic. If you have not watched Scooby-Doo, you have not lived life. Scooby-Doo is iconic. It's brilliant. How dare you? I have almost all the movies. Almost. I've lost some of the DVDs, so I don't have all of them. But yeah. Anyway, that is CBBC's shows. I'm trying to think. What other shows did they miss in CBBC? See, here's the thing. With CBBC, I can't really remember a lot of the shows on CBBC. Mystery Incorporated. Mystery Incorporated is better than What's New Scooby-Doo. Just because I liked the storytelling part of it. And the story-oriented episodes a lot. So, yeah. But I think that's it. For CBBC. Okay, Jungle Run. I think I liked Jungle Run a lot more than I did the fourth one. I liked Jungle Run. Jungle Run was basically really cool. I like them. These two are basically game shows, guys. For teams. It was basically that, guys. Not really anything properly groundbreaking. But I think I enjoyed Jungle Run a bit more because of the monkeys. I enjoyed Jungle Run more because monkeys. Yes, that is my reasoning. You got the gold monkey, the bronze monkey, the silver monkey. Those were the trophies, by the way. Victorious. If I was younger, I would say very cool. So I will say very cool. Almost borderline iconic. I would say it's iconic for what it was. I have different opinions on it now. I do. Nickelodeon around that time was problematic. Well, it's revealed years later that it was problematic, and once you're a kid who watched these shows and you grew up, you really, really understand some innuendos, and it makes you very uncomfortable. Honestly, Victorious, I think, now would make me very uncomfortable. I liked some of the characters. But Victorious now would make me very uncomfortable, just because I don't like a show that's geared to kids that have that many innuendos. I just don't like that. It doesn't feel nice. Yeah. But it's iconic for what it was at the time. House of Anubis. I remember a bit of House of Anubis. It was very story-oriented. But I did like him. I did. My goldfish is evil. Tolerable. It's a goldfish who is evil. You got that, guys? Yeah, good. My parents are aliens. Immediately, legendary, iconic. Yes. My parents are aliens is like, if, mate. Think of it as this. If I had to pick between Scooby-Doo and My Parents Are Aliens, I would watch My Parents Are Aliens. Why, you ask? My Parents Are Aliens is iconic for what it was. It was a mess, and I loved every bit of it. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. It was so fucking good. It was good. It was so good. My Parents Are Aliens is like that awkward sort of like funny comedy you could just watch, and it was so good. It was so good. I don't know where it's available now. I don't think it's available on CITV. It's not available on CITV anymore. No, it isn't. This was cancelled a while back. But My Parents Are Aliens is like really good. I loved it. I loved it as a kid. Hell yeah. Iconic, gorgeous, mwah. This era of Ninja Turtles, Teenage Ninja Turtles, it's iconic. Anything afterwards is garbage. This is coming from someone who's supposed to be very open-minded, but is not when it comes to certain series. This era of Teenage Ninja Turtles is brilliant. It's dark, it's comedic, it's so good. And the animations were so good. It was so goddamn good, guys. If you guys have not watched this era of Teenage Ninja Turtles, but is a fan of Teenage Ninja Turtles, you should watch this. It's a great. I believe you can find some episodes on YouTube. But it's great. It's really good. It has dark moments. It has comedic moments. It was very sort of like the art style. Ooh, so good. So good. It was so good. Ben 10. This era's Ben 10. There are different eras of Ben 10. I acknowledge that. Some of them are good. This is my era of Ben 10. And Ben 10 was really cool. I liked Ben 10. Ben 10 had it. And I loved that. Ben 10 was just, yeah, it was great. Power Rangers, iconic. No matter what Power Rangers you are, it is iconic, it is gorgeous. Mwah. Gorgeous. We love Power Rangers here. I actually tried to rewatch the original Power Ranger series. I got really far on it before I was just like, I'm a bit bored. It's good. Power Rangers is a classic. It's a classic. Dinosaur King. Now, Dinosaur King isn't talked about much, but it's very anime. I'm not sure if it's like a proper anime. If it was a proper anime in Japan, but it's basically an anime. Has the art style. Dinosaur King was very cool. It was so good. In fact, that me and my brother actually bought the cards because they had cards with it. It was really cool. Pokemon, of course, is legendary, iconic. Herd Henry, iconic. My grandmother, bless her heart, my grandmother. When I was younger and she asked me, what would I want to watch on TV? And I was just like, I don't know what's on TV at the moment, because I don't know how to read a fucking TV paper. My grandmother was just like, okay, Hard Henry is on. Do you want to watch that? And I was like, yay! I was like, yay, I want to watch Howard Henry. And she'd watch it with me. She'd watch every goddamn episode with me. Howard Henry is really good. It also was like the first proper like book series I actually picked up and read. I've read all the Howard Henry books at the moment. I don't know if there was new ones out since the last time I bought it. I think the last new one that I bought was the Crazy Ketchup one, I believe. Howard Henry is iconic for what it was. It was cancelled a couple years ago, I believe. I believe it was cancelled a couple years ago because there was like a cancellation date when I first checked it up. I think they cancelled it just like a couple years ago. Before the virus. Before the pandemic. Almost Naked Animals. Okay, you need to know something about CITV. CITV, they have their thing where it's an animation, but it will be disgusting when it needs to, and I'm all for that. Almost Naked Animals, it was good. It was good. It was really good. I'd watch it again and again. It's basically animals in underwear. It's Almost Naked Animals. Literally what the title says. It was good, surprisingly. It had disgusting moments, but CITV had those sort of animations. I remember an animation called Nerds vs. Monsters that had some disgusting moments in it, but it was good. Deadly 60. I do not like Deadly 60. I do not like Deadly 60. Deadly 60 is iconic for a lot of people. I don't like Deadly 60. It's not my sort of thing. I don't like Deadly 60. I don't. So, what shows are we missing from CITV? We're actually missing quite a bit, and most of them are anime. We are missing Inazuma 11. My baby. Inazuma 11. If I had to pick where Inazuma 11 goes, it would be iconic for me. Because I loved it, and I played the games as a kid. I watched all the anime. When it was still in production, I watched all the anime. I played most of the games because some of the later games were mostly Japanese. I loved Inazuma 11. Inazuma 11 is literally my childhood. And my poor friends. I used to play the Inazuma 11 games. But for you guys who don't properly know, I have gamer rage. I can't play too competitive a game, or else I will be extremely annoyed very quickly. And Inazuma 11 was that game that I'd play, and it pissed me off. I was so angry. Every time I played, I was just like, this bear fudging work. So my poor friends, I used to take the DS and game with me to sleepovers, because, you know, we play games together, and oh my lord, you have not seen a group of children be terrified of me before until I played that game. After that, they banned me from bringing Inazuma 11 to any sleepovers because I got too angry over it. So, yeah, I wasn't allowed to play that around my friends. It's still an iconic game. I still have the game cartridges for it. I just need to charge my DS and I can play them. But I haven't played them in years, which is sad. I should probably go back into the anime as well. The other thing they're missing is Bakugan. Bakugan. Dun, dun, dun. No, it's not the new Bakugan. It's Bakugan Brawlers. Early Bakugan series were so good. Oh my god. Bakugan is iconic. It's still going on, I believe. The toys are still being made, I believe. Bakugan was really good, especially the early seasons. I loved it. I wouldn't say it's iconic. I would probably put it very cool, at least. Yeah, Bakugan was really good. It was really good. The other thing they're missing is Yu-Gi-Oh! Because CITV streamed Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, which me and my brother were obsessed with. And we had our whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Card collection until it was stolen. Yes, it was stolen. You know when you're a kid and you like trade cards? You trade Pokemon cards, you trade Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. You know, in the olden years, you do that. You go to school, you bring your Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards with you, maybe Vanguard cards if that was popular enough in your school. Your Bakugans, and you trade them. I brought a majority of our Yu-Gi-Oh! Card collection in a little bag in a little bag that was in my bag, and they were stolen. Did we ever find out who stole them? We didn't have solid evidence. We didn't have evidence, but we had a strong suspect. We had a very, very strong suspect of someone who was kind of a friend, kind of a friend, I'm not sure. But anyway, he was like a major suspect. I'm not sad anymore. I was more upset because they were my brother's like prized possessions at the time. He adored those cards, and me, his little sister, brought them to school and fecking lost them. So luckily he wasn't angry at me. Thankfully he wasn't angry at me. But yeah, I was very sad. I was sad for my brother, really. Those were like the 3 main animes that I'm missing here. I don't think they had any other animes. What other shows did they miss? Grisly Stories for Gruesome Kids. Grisly Stories for Gruesome Kids. I think that's it. I think that's the title. I really liked that. I put it very cool. It was very good. Because my morning was like this. This was my morning, guys. My morning was Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids, Inazuma 11, then Pokemon. That was my morning when I woke up like 6 p.m. Or like 6 or like 7. No, not p.m. a.m. When I woke up at 6, 7 a.m. and I had to get ready for school. Those were the 3 shows that I watched while getting ready for school. It was great. I can't think of any other series. If you guys who were children in this era and who know British TV shows, comment down below if you remember any, because I can't remember anything else. I can't remember. I have like this Monsuma. I'm thinking of like another show, Monsuma. I'm not sure what the name is. It starts with an M. That was good. I would put that at decent. Deadbed Tales. I don't know. That was very cool. I was very excited when I watched that. It was released in Halloween, but unfortunately I had to go out and eat at Morrison's. Oh my god. Yeah, basically Halloween's when we were younger was just like, okay, I don't want anyone knocking on our door for trick-or-treating, so we're gonna go out and eat somewhere. So we ate at Morrison's, and I missed the show, and I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I was just like, Mom, this show was just released. Why can't I watch it? But yeah, that's basically everything. These are my opinion on British childhood shows, CBBC and CITV. Now, those two aren't the only broadcasters who did children's TV. There's another one called CBBS. But that was basically for young children. Very young children. But they had some banging shows as well, which I loved. They had like this quiz show racing sort of show, and I loved that. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed looking back on this nostalgic past of mine. And yeah, if you guys want to check out any of the shows, go ahead. Some of these are still good to watch even as an adult. As I said, I still watch Scooby-Doo. So, and I would go back to watching some of the animes I watched as a child. Horrible Histories is still good to watch as an adult. It's still very fun. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Goodbye!